Hello, everybody, and today we're going to be reacting to how Little Caesars makes their pizza. I'm curious because I'm a Domino's employee. I just did a video on how Domino's Pizza makes their pizza, so let's see what we can do. Also, like I said in my last video, I don't really like doing this because I don't like being this kind of YouTuber, but it seems to get me more like comments. I actually get to engage with you guys and talk to you guys. If you look at my last video, I pretty much responded to every comment that was left. But if you guys could please like the video, helps me know if you guys like the content that I'm making. Please comment. I love reading your comments and responding. And if you could, please subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you guys anything. You can turn off notifications if you want to. You can turn them on if you want to. I'd prefer you turn them on. That way you can watch my content if you like it. But that's up to you. And if you do, thank you. Sincerely, thank you.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel.
That looks delicious.
We go behind the scenes to see how Little Caesars pizzas are made.
See, I love
as
their
well
deep
as an
dish.
insight into the special techniques the company uses to produce this.
Their ham is like Pizza Hut's ham, it looks like. Pizza Hut uses the same kind of ham. Although, I don't know why Domino's doesn't have deep dish. That to me just seems like a no-brainer for us to do. But, I mean, granted, Little Caesars makes their dough in-house, so they can afford to have a ton of different types of pizza.
This delicious food. We can all agree that it's just not right to watch a movie without something to snack on. But how frustrating is it when you have to wait a while before you have your snacks delivered?
Although, also, can you tell me why they decided to make their $5 hot and ready pizza $7.99? I get inflation. I do. But Little Caesars is where you go when you don't have much money. Right? At least that was my assumption.
Well,
and $7.99 is a bit more than $5, and some people are not very well off. And $5 is a lot to them.
Oh, that's a problem you won't have to relate.
Oh, the cheese sauce. We don't have that. Oh my God.
To if you order a pizza from Little Caesars. Not only are their services very affordable.
Oh my God, the pretzel crust. I so wish. And I like their app. Yeah, you click the buttons and it looks like it adds it on the pizza here. Like, why can't we do that? It looks so cool.
But their delivery is incredibly fast. And you'd have your pizza hot and ready in no time.
Where was that DoorDasher delivering to? They were on a mountain like sliding down. What? When I was doing DoorDash, I never... Oh my God. They're dedicated. They're dedicated at their job. More than I would do.
However, you'd think these pros would come at the expense of good taste and quality, but that's not the case. So how are these efficient and delicious pizzas made? When it comes to the number of sales, Little Caesars is the third largest pizza chain in the...
Yes, they are. Domino's is number one. Domino's is number one. And I did get a comment on my last video, so that was kind of funny. Domino's Pizza failed in Italy because they... First off, why would you think that a pizza chain like Domino's would have any chance of surviving in Italy? You're bringing some Americanized industrial version of pizza to the motherland of homemade pizza, handmade pizza with love.
The US, and the quality of their products and super reliable service is an incredible example to other companies in the fast food industry. The company is originally from Detroit, but now...
Did not know that. Really did not know that.
Its pizza restaurants are available in other countries, in Asia, Europe, the Caribbean, the Middle East, and several other places.
You see how they didn't list Italy? They didn't even try, which I wouldn't either.
Since its establishment in the late 19th...
What is this? Stuffed crazy bread. Oh, I didn't know they had that. I need to try that.
1950s, the company has stuck to the same fundamental recipe for its pizzas. However, it has been improved over the years by adding new specials. And in this video, we'll be talking about the recipe used in making these delicious pizzas. One of the favorite things about pizzas is how similar in taste they are to home-cooked food. And the secret to this is in the ingredients used.
Plus, they make it in store. They make it in store, which I think makes it better than a frozen pizza. I do like DiGiorno. I know it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno, but I do like DiGiorno, but there is something different about a pizza that's actually handcrafted in a store versus in a factory.
Used. These include flour, sugar or maple syrup, and yeast for
Did he just say maple syrup?
the dough. And for the sauce, the company has a special combination that is kept secret, but we know it's based on fresh tomatoes and a couple of spices. The production process is generally divided into 3 main steps.
Also, I don't know if you guys saw this. There was a video on TikTok or something where this guy was mixing the sauce with a drill with one of those paint mixers in a bin on the floor. I have no idea if that's true or not, but I thought it was funny.
First, making of the dough.
I gotta say, it's really efficient and fast at mixing the sauce. I wish we had that. We have the sauce. It comes in a concentrate in a bag, and we cut it open and we put it in the water. We portion out the water in it and we mix it up by hand with a whisk. Let me tell you, if I had a drill with that paint mixer thing, oh, it'd be so much faster and so much easier.
Dough, then the sauce, and finally, assembling both components together. Because of their delivery speed, some people speculate that Little Caesars pizzas are just frozen pizzas that are heated when ordered. However, past and present work.
Fun fact, my second job was actually at a Little Caesars. I was the shaker board person that held the sign outside. I got fired from Little Caesars. I was 16. My school let out at 3 o'clock, or 3:30. My shift didn't start until 3, and I let them know that when I got hired. But because I was late every day, because I had to walk from school at 3:30 when it got let out, I walked to work. Like, I would change in my work uniform before I left school, and I would walk to work. So it took me a good 15 minutes to get to work, so I was always 45 minutes late every day. And they fired me for that, even though they were informed of that and said it was okay when they hired me.
Workers in their kitchens
I'll still eat their pizza, though.
worldwide have debunked these theories via posts on social media. Little
They do
Caesars
make it
pizzas
fresh
are
in
made
store.
from scratch daily.
Every day.
Begin with the dough's production. This process is typically done by
Yeah, see, that's something that I have to say about them. They make their dough fresh every single day. Every day. Domino's, ours is made in a factory, gets sent to us just because we can pop up a Domino's anywhere. We don't have to have all the different types of space that they need, or a traditional pizza place needs that makes their dough every day. But I do have to say, they do actually make their dough fresh every day. They have these giant stand mixers, pretty much, that they make it in. Which I do have to commend them for that. I know at Domino's, for us, see, the thing is, we can have like 8 employees at one time, but we'll get like 200-300 orders a day. Little Caesars, I know they make hot and fresh ready pizza, so they don't always have to make the orders as people order it, because they can just hand the pizzas out, because that's their main business model, is fresh, hot, and ready. It's like the Sheets to go thing, or Rudders, where they have the thing where you can just grab the food that's pre-made.
hand. But because of the large quantity of dough needed to meet all their orders, large mixers are used in their kitchens instead.
Yep, giant
First,
stand mixers.
lukewarm water is poured into the mix.
I assure you that is some corporate person right there. That is not a regular employee. Without a doubt.
But the temperature is checked first, because any temperature higher than what's required would kill the yeast.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's another thing. When we mix the sauce, I make sure the water is not lukewarm. It's like a little bit colder. But if it's too cold, it'll ruin the properties of the sauce. If it's too warm, it'll start cooking the tomatoes that are in the sauce. So you have to have it at the correct temperature for that to be properly made.
Reducing the level to which the dough would rise.
Now, back when I worked, we didn't have these giant machines like this. It was more like a giant, like, you know, the stand mixer you put on your counter, the heavy thing. It was like that, but giant, and the top was open. We didn't have this fancy thing in the store. I don't know when this was implemented, but this was not how we did that.
After confirming that the temperature is just right, the dry yeast is added. and the required amount of sugar is also added. At this point,
I didn't realize they put sugar in their dough. I mean, it makes sense because the dough is a bit sweeter. I just didn't realize that.
the mixer is set to a low speed. Nothing
Hold up. This is the same exact footage from the Domino's. Right? Like, I'm pretty sure this is the same exact footage from the Domino's video that I just saw the other day.
vigorous just yet, and after a while, the mixture gets bubbly.
Just so is this. Are there just clips of pizza making places or dough making factories that they've just pulled from? Because they make it fresh in store. We don't have all this. We didn't have all that. This is a factory. They don't make it in a factory. They mix it all fresh in store at Little Caesars when I worked there.
Which signifies the activity of the yeast. If there are no bubbles, this mixture is discarded, and the entire process is started all over. However,
Yeah, there were so many times whenever they'd try to get me to start making the dough. They were like, "Hey, I know you're a shaker board person, but do you wanna get on the action in the kitchen and learn how we do this?" Also, for the dough, instead of us spreading it out by hand at Little Caesars, you know those rolling machines that you put like noodles through? We had something like that would flatten the dough out. It was automatically put it on and keep putting it through until it got to the right thickness.
However, if the yeast is active, flour and the star of the show finally join the party. The flour is added continuously, fast at the beginning and slowly toward the end. The mixer is set to a high speed, and a kitchen worker observes the entire process. The mixing is allowed to continue until a shaggy dough ball is formed, and when it's so firm it can't hold any more ingredients, no more flour is added. When the mixing is over, each batch is kneaded and stored in the refrigerator until needed.
Yeah.
The storage could take a few days.
We measure it all out too. We weigh
The balls are softened, and the environment allows them to rise thanks to yeast. The longer they are kept inside the refrigerator, the more flavorful they become.
We had that too. The automatic roller thing.
So they are typically stored for about 3 days. Next, the dough needed for each day
3 days. We didn't do 3 days. We did it every day.
is taken out of a batch made a few days prior. And while the dough is being kneaded and prepared, it's time to make the
Okay, so he knows generally how big they need to be, but he's weighing ones that he's not sure about. Okay.
tomato sauce. For
Yep, that's the clip I saw. That's the freaking clip I saw. I don't know if I was doing it in every store, but we have these giant tubs and we do it by hand on the counter. I want to buy a drill and do this for work.
regular Little Caesars, finely chopped garlic cloves and chili flakes are sautéed in a pan for a few
That's
minutes
the clip I saw.
before freshly bagged tomato puree is added. Other seasonings like salt,
We didn't do it like that when I was there, but that's the clip I saw on TikTok.
sugar, and some Italian herbs and spices are also added. However, the mixture is not heated for longer than a few
That has to be a
seconds,
margarita pizza,
since it will
right?
still cook when the pizza is baked. Next, it's time for the pizza to be assembled.
That is the fakest cheese pool I've ever seen in my life. Like, this pizza piece looks real. It just looks like they added this in post with Photoshop. That is the fakest cheese pool in the world.
The pre-made dough is cut into smaller sizes and
That's a real cheese pool. The other one was totally fake.
rolled out on a flat surface. The kitchen workers ensure that the dough is not too flat, so
Yep. That's the machine that we used. We put the dough in, and we kept putting it through until it got to the correct thickness that we needed for the
it
pizza.
has some stamina. And they also make sure that the edges are thicker than the center. After that, the tomato sauce is scooped
That's how we do the sauce at Domino's. It's the same exact kind of ladle we use.
onto the dough and spread out from the
Our make line looks pretty much the same, although it doesn't have these curves like that. But yeah, that's pretty much how our make line looks as well.
center to the outer parts. Not too much sauce is added to the dough, because since the baking time is supposed to
Okay, if you're gonna make a video like this, have a coworker hold the phone. It'd make it a lot easier to spread the dough out.
be just a few minutes, too much sauce would slow down the cooking process and cause wet.
So I didn't realize this until now. I think all their pizzas are pan pizzas. We have a pan pizza, but that's one of them. We have hand tossed. So we have small, or we have hand tossed pan. We now have our whatchamacallit, our stuffed crust. And also, if you guys work at Domino's, we have these that our employees are given. It's a coupon that only employees get. We can give to friends and family, and it brings a one topping medium hand toss or stuffed crust down to $5.30 after tax, and it expires on the 16th of March. We were each given some of these. I've given some of mine out. I have a few more left.
Spots, which nobody wants on their pizza. In some cases, cut vegetables.
Okay, I don't think this was taken from Little Caesars, because that's not Little Caesars uniform. This is just some they're just mashing in random footage together and some Little Caesars footage.
Shredded cheese are added to the top of the pizza, depending on the kind.
Yep, that's a half and a. No, see, I told you, they're pulling from so many different types of videos, and yeah, our make line doesn't look like that in particular, but it's close enough. But yeah, they're pulling from other videos. Why would you put Domino's in a Little Caesars video? Why?
Being made.
Don't get me wrong, I'm kind of honored that our footage is being used there, but
some of these vegetables and extras include tomato slices for the extra tomato flavor.
Oh, that is Little Caesars.
For extra crunchiness.
That is Little Caesars. It says it up here. I didn't realize that was Little Caesars uniform. Okay.
And cheese for the chewiness that brings it all together.
They have scoops
cheese
for their
is
cheese,
usually
really?
added for that chewy effect, while other additions are made according.
See, I would love if we had a box like this. The 2 deep dish pizzas, and then the wings, which are the boneless wings. That actually looks like really good sauce. Okay, I'm assuming that's barbecue. That marinara sauce for dipping. Oh my god, that looks like ketchup. That doesn't look like marinara. What the fuck is that? Or is that buffalo? I don't know.
To the type of pizza being made. Give me that extra cheese, please. For chicken pizza, the sauce is made using a completely different recipe. First, chicken cutlets are washed, salted, and sautéed in a non-stick pan for a few minutes, and they are closely monitored to ensure that they don't get.
Why would you use a different sauce? That doesn't make sense to me. Why don't you use the same sauce for everything?
Too brown on either side. After a couple of minutes, ginger cloves, chili flakes, tomato puree, and soy sauce are added to the pan and heated for a while. Italian herbs and spices.
See, the last clip, I don't like that amount of sauce. I like this kind of sauce. This is a good amount of sauce to me. And this looks like it's a stuffed crust because they have this bent up. Or is it? I have no idea. This is so strange to me.
Are also added in as well to enhance the flavor of the sauce. Next, the sauce is spread on the flattened dough, and toppings added include lettuce, onions, and cheese. Some of these toppings are added when the pizza has been baked to preserve the crunchiness, while others are baked alongside the pizza and the sauce. And that
beef? Yeah, it's like pot roast beef. And then mozzarella, which looks like heart shapes, which is a little weird.
Brings us to the
and
final
onions.
step.
I don't like onions on pizza.
In preparation for the baking, the pizzas are loaded onto flat steel baking sheets and stacked on a rack, while the oven is preheated to a temperature of about 800 degrees Fahrenheit.
800? Ours is 450. Well, our store has it at 300 to 435, just because each store is different. Because the reason why each store has a different temperature is because some stores might have it at 450, but those are probably the stores that have the doors opening a lot more, depending on how close the oven is to the door and all this other stuff, and how, yeah, just the ambient temperature. They have to change the temperature per store.
Please keep your hands and feet outside of the oven. The racks of baking sheets are rolled into the oven.
See, we never put pizza just on the grate like that. We actually have these little flat things with holes punched in it. We put it on.
Which has a conveyor system. The baking process takes about 6 to 10 minutes.
Okay, that's the same for us.
Conveyor belt.
See, that's the same kind of ham as us. That has to be a Domino's pizza. That's the same exact kind of ham we use.
The racks are moved from the entrance to the exit of the oven within this time. Afterwards,
First off, what camera are you using that can withstand that heat? I'm curious as to what... Obviously, it's not this person that made the video, but they pulled footage from something else.
Pizzas are taken out of the oven, sliced, and packaged in the signature Little Caesars boxes. From there, the hot packaged pizzas are...
Did you just skip over the crust?
Packaged in the signature
Watch this.
boxes.
Right here. He's not going to cut the crust. Right here, he skips over the crust.
From there, the hot packaged pizzas are either handed over to customers waiting in the restaurant or kept inside large coolers where they sit for a few minutes before they are delivered to your doorstep, just when you're about to start that movie or hang out with your friends. Little Caesars was founded in 1959 by American businessman Mike Ilitch and his wife Marion. Since its inception, the company has stayed true to its most fundamental qualities, speed and affordability, making it one of the highest purchased pizza chains.
One of, yes. Now, affordability, I can speak on that. Now, granted, at Domino's Pizza, I get a very steep discount because I'm an employee. Very steep discount. I pay very little. But Little Caesars does have most of their pizzas pretty affordable.
In the country. There is a phrase on their logo, pizza pizza, which implies that you can buy 2 standard Little Caesars pizzas for the same price as one pizza sold by other companies.
A lot of our pizzas, like most of the mediums, are $14.99, right? That being said, theirs are $7.99 now. So yeah, about half.
Fortunately, Little Caesars has an expensive menu from which you can pick any pizza variant for just a few dollars. What's your favorite kind of pizza from Little Caesars? I'll take that question.
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. Hey guys, I really just want to say I do like making this kind of content, reaction content. I'm not going to lie, it's easy to make, but it's also, I get to learn something, and I hope so do you. So if you could please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, all of that is free. You don't have to pay for it. Really helps out the channel. I love reading your guys' comments and responding to them. If you look at my last video, like I said in the beginning, I've responded to almost every single comment that was on the video. So if you guys could please do that, it'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.